Hey, it's MK, and I am back with another Mixed Media Frenzy layout for you all. This is the layout, or the layout that we will be scrap lifting today. I look forward to seeing everyone's because this one is just fabulous. Anyways, I've got some Scrapping Reflections acrylic clouds that I would like to use, and then I pulled out my Sunkissed collection. I also purchased it from Scrapping Reflections. I have some enamel dots that are from Close to My Heart from many moons ago. Puffy stickers from the Sunkissed collection. A few of these enamel buttons, I think is what they are. And then I have the clear stickers by it's all Sunkissed, you guys. I don't have to keep repeating myself. And then I have some cut aparts inside them as well, inside the packaging as well. So that way they just didn't get lost or, whatever. I also have this one little piece left over from the Happiness collection. And then I pulled a few papers because I wasn't really sure exactly where I wanted this to go. Ooh, that's awfully pink on the other side. Oh, anyways, then I have the foam title stickers from Sunkissed, and I have a struggle with using those thickers, so I have not had a chance to use them. And then I have this set that's called Flutter from the Thickers brand, but I think that's American Crafts. I don't know how that really works, you guys. Clearly, I struggle using those as well. Yes, I do. I have this scrap piece of white cardstock that I plan on matting my photos with. I have two of the exact same photo, and I'm going to try to do the whole, like this, the two photos next to each other type thing. I don't know, you guys. It's an experiment. Then I also have this really cool, rainbow wood grain from Chamel, Little by Little. I don't even know where I purchased this. I don't know if it came in a kit. I have no idea, but it's been on my brain to use for quite a while. So I'm just going to attach it to this Vicki Boutin Mixed Media paper. And then I have my jars of water really close by. So let's see what I can do because honestly, I don't have a clue what I'm going to do. Now, if you guys all know me, I completely struggle with rainbows. I struggle with how to decorate with them. I struggle with, what to do with them. I actually anticipated getting just a plain wood grain and doing my own colors. I mean, the way that this layout first was in my brain was I was going to do an outdoor layout and have a wood grain and it just be totally grunged up, right? That's me. But I feel like I've already done a layout like that. This year, actually, I feel like I have done a layout like that. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself because that is the point. Get out of your comfort zone and challenge yourself to do something that you don't normally do. So, again, this wood grain was in my stash. And so it's been kind of like poking its little head at me saying, use me, use me. Yeah, my stuff talks to me. It really does. That's how I come up with such fabulous layouts because it does all the choosing for me. I'm just kidding. Anyways, mental institution here I come. So, I just decided that I was going to go for it. If it's a hot mess, it's a hot mess. It's two pictures of a rainbow. The exact same two pictures of a rainbow, and I'm pretty sure I can print them again if I don't like how this turns out. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to be rolling up all of these strips. Now I just took my trimmer and cut down where I thought that I wanted all of the pieces. And for the layout, the inspiration layout, they're all different lengths. And so I was trying to accomplish that, but I didn't want to go too far down that it would impede, and then I'd have to use a big old huge bulk of foam to pump it up and my photo be over the of the rolls. So I was trying to see where I was going to go. Plus I didn't want to roll them too thick because then they would be too bulky for a layout. So I did leave quite a bit up at the top where that part's going to actually get cut off. So that way I can, I still get the effect of the rolls, but yet I don't, they're not all, anyways, I have no idea what I'm talking about. No idea. I just know that I wanted some of the wood grain showing, but I didn't need that much of the wood grain showing. Whew. So because I'm working with wet medium, I will be, I'm going to go ahead and use liquid glue to glue this piece down. That way it doesn't buckle when I go to put my wet medium around it, if that makes any sense. So I'm just using my thumb to varnish that liquid glue, make sure it's spreading around and getting in all the places that I need it. I just went and cut off my extra little bit, and now I'm going to make my mess. Here's the mixed media part. Yeah, drop my paintbrush. That's the first thing I did. In a section that's not red. Yeah, so I believe this is Barn Door. I believe that's what color I did. So what I did is I have a swatch of all of my colors that are, well, all of my colors. And I basically held up my swatch to these strips to pick which colors are going to match. And so when I did this, I can see my oxides next to my distress inks and which one will dry the color that I need it to be to match these. And so most of these are oxides because when they oxide, they're a little bit lighter than when they are an ink. I do have the ink on the left because that is such a dark blue that I did end up going with the ink on that one. But I do like how it turns out. So I am also trying to go down far enough with my ink that I want to cover up where I dropped my paintbrush with red paint on it. Yeah. So, and you guys can't see it a whole lot in the video, which is a good thing, but it is there. Like, oh my god, it is there. Now, one of the things that I am doing is I've got a warm side and a cool side, and then there's like this gray in the center, which I could not, for the life of me, get that gray to show up the way that I want it. And so I work a lot on trying to get that to work. Also, too, this one that I'm using, so I used mustard seed for my yellow. The pink was actually a red, and I can't remember which one it was. I think it was candied apple. Oh, no, the red is candied apple, and the pink is barn red. That's exactly what it was. And then the mustard seed is the yellow, which I love. And then I used pumice stone for my gray, but I just wasn't getting it as dark as I wanted it to. And then this blue is that speckled egg, and it was definitely speckled. It was not coming out the way I wanted it to. Like, it didn't look like the red and the yellow. It was blotchy, was a good word for it. And then this green is pine needles, or I think is what it's called. I don't know. Pine something. And what I'm also doing is I'm also painting the roll to match, so that way it didn't stick out like a sore thumb. So I went through and I just painted all the rolls in the color of inks that I chose. And I really like that effect. I like that it's not that bright white with the weird circles on it. And then, of course, this is my favorite blue in the whole wide world. It is the chipped sapphire blue. And now that everything has a little chance to dry, I'm going back through and seeing whether or not it's, if it's streaked down enough or blotchy enough, or it has the effect that I want. And I go back and forth. I dry it and then I go back and paint, and then I dry it and then go back and paint. So I just basically took out the drying part because that's boring. That way you guys still got to see all of the mixed media part. And like I said, I work so hard at trying to get that pumice stone to show up, and I completely cover the whole thing. Yeah, it's the beauty of mixed media, is you do all that work just to cover it up. I decided I wanted my cool colors because that's the side that I tend to always drift to. I wanted those to go down a lot farther than the warm colors, but I am going to try to get that red one to go down a little bit farther because there were still some red streaks from dropping the paintbrush that I wanted to try to cover up. And by the time that I am done, with the mixed media and all the embellishments and everything that I put on this page, there's only one spot that you could really see where I dropped my paintbrush, in all honesty. All right, so because I used very little water, it took no time at all for this to dry. By the time I matted my photos Bam, it was dry. Perfect. I love it. So now I just don't like the white on the white background on my photos, but I felt like if I was going to use one of those bright papers that I picked out originally, I felt like if I used those, then I needed the white border around it. Well, I kind of sort of auditioned all of those papers and decided to go with this dark blue instead. I just liked how they made the photos really pop. I just really like that. Again, they're the exact same photo. There's nothing different about it except for in one of the photos, the rainbow is a little bit higher from the telephone wire than the other one. So they're probably two separate photos, but nobody can tell. Nobody. So I'm trying to figure out where my photos are going to go because my title is going to be quite big, and I decided to use the word sweet and then the word memories from this sticker pack from Sunkissed. Oh, I almost said sunshine because the word was on the sticker sheet. So yes, I'm going to do the word memories and then the word sweet. And yes, the word sweet is pink. I'm going to ignore that. I could have used my alcohol markers to change that color, but I'm putting the word memories exactly where it is, not because I want to journal underneath it or anything fantabulous, is because it covers up the rest of my splatters, except in between the M. I couldn't cover up those splatters because the M wasn't big enough. But like I said, that's the only little splatter from me dropping my paintbrush that you can see. So I'm okay with that. I managed to, cover up everything else and make the layout work. I did not have to start from scratch. I didn't have to start over. I didn't have to rip anything off. I mean, I just kept going, because it's mixed media. I'll cover it up. Yeah. So anyways, this rainbow is from a time, well, it was from 2019. We, my husband and I, moved my parents to Fallon, Nevada. And this was our first trip over to Fallon, and we caravanned 3 vehicles and 3 trailers, or 3 vehicles pulling 3 trailers. That was fun times. So basically to make it a smooth trip, every stop that we took, we all made sure that we stopped, we all checked our loads, and then we just kept going. And on our way to the hotel, we were getting out and getting our bags, and we saw this rainbow. So I decided to snapshot the rainbow because my mom is definitely not one for change, but she knew she needed to get closer to her doctors, which are in Reno, and she does not want to live in Reno. So she settled for Fallon because my dad's next choice was not acceptable. We'll just say that for my mom. I have to tell you that her first year there, she called me all the time, and it just was not. She wasn't happy. She didn't like it. She just was upset that she sold her house of 48 years and now is living in this new house, and they have to do, so much work. And I said, well, you don't really have to do so much work. You could just accept it the way it is. And of course, that's not my mom at all. So she's done a little bit of gardening. They took out a ton of trees and bushes and things like that were kind of sort of like creeping in and shrinking her yard. So she took out a bunch of that stuff, and they've made a home out of it. And I really think she's happy now that she's got her like oasis in the backyard. They bought a house right on the river, and she's like so excited that they own that portion of river, and it just, we tease it a lot because when we go over there, we always tell her, it's like, oh my God, Mom, you're letting your water go into other people's yards. Because she owned that part of the river, right? That was her portion of the water. So anyways, no, she's very happy now, but I would have to say for the first 6 months, she struggled a lot over the fact that she let her house go. And she's so upset and all that stuff. And Yeah, but anyways, that's not the point. The point is that the kids were excellent during all of this. So we spent the entire summer moving my mom and dad, and that was 48 years worth of stuff moved. Oh, my stars. 5 yard sales, four hauls back and forth that we did. And the kids were troopers. They were amazing. And I couldn't tell you how blessed I am with the kids that I have, because they're just little great travel buddies. And they always make lemonade out of everything, you guys. It's just awesome. And that is basically what I'm going to be journaling about, because it was my little girl that noticed the rainbow. And there was no rain. Nevada's so weird, you guys. There was no rain. There was no pretending to act like it was going to rain. It just was a rainbow. And my mom says it's because of the river and how they use the river as irrigation for their fields and things like that. And so the moisture in the air created the rainbow. And it was my daughter that just, sweetheart that she is, was like, oh, look, and it's blessing my grandma's new home. And so yeah, it was just a sweet memory is what it was. And anyways, that is the layout of what I did. I decided not to put anything on my wood grain rainbow like in the like the layout had on there. I kept everything down inside the mixed media portion just because it just kind of seemed random for me to put a dot up there for no weird reason. It just, I don't know, you guys, it's me. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along with Mixed Media Frenzy. All their links will be down below in the description box underneath the video. Like I said before, if you are, depending on what device you're watching from, there's either an arrow that points down or there's a couple words that say show more to see the list of everyone. All right, thank you so much, and I will see you all later. Bye.